Hi, my name is Coldbeer and let's start with Just Cause 3. The Mediterranean Republic of Medici is suffering under the control of a dictator with a huge appetite for power. So this is some kind of Mediterranean Belarus and you have to show them what freedom looks like. And here it looks like death and explosions of dictator's troops and allies. Here you will be given complete vertical freedom. Skydive, base jump and freedive in an open world the size of 1,000 square kilometers, so you can create chaos in all of this land and have a lot of fun. People on Steam are saying that the game is very fun and has almost zero boring moments. The grappling hook and the wingsuit will help you to fly around and cause havoc, and this experience will keep you entertained for hours. To be exact, about 18 hours of your boring life will be made better by this game. Neon Abyss. Here you will take control of one of the heroes traversing the dangerous underworld. You will be trying to find a way to remove the curse that made you immortal. If you get killed, you can go back to the Days End bar, where you prepare for the next playthrough. Over time you will unlock new rooms offering previously unavailable items and challenges. People on Steam are saying that this game is like Enter the Gungeon, but actually fun. They say that this is a very nice 2D roguelike with a huge amount of different weapons, perks and companions. By the way, these companions can be earned by finding eggs, which have a chance to hatch if you clear a room. Each of them has unique skills and can increase in power if you can manage to keep them alive long enough. But let us be fair, the only thing you can keep alive long enough is that cactus on your windowsill. Third Age of Wonders game. This franchise, along with the Heroes of Might and Magic, is one of the most beloved among turn-based strategy fans. Here you can choose 1 out of 6 classes and try to conquer and enslave the other 5. That won't be easy, except if you play on easy, then it will be easy. Here you'll find many unique and well-known skills and monsters, multiplayer mode, many races to choose your allies from, also level editing tools and countless unique scenarios you will make by yourself using random map generator. Although I must say that Age of Wonders is fun to play, but it doesn't feel very balanced. The game emphasizes warfare and exploration, but doesn't give you enough resources to actually do these things without waiting forever. You know that feeling in Heroes games where you just wanted to buy a black dragon, but you had no money, so you skipped several turns so you could finally afford it. But then Monday came, the population grew, and you felt short with your money again. Age of Wonders invokes the same feeling over and over again. Still a wonderful game. Supreme Commander. With lengthy and diverse campaigns, a skirmish mode and online community, Supreme Commander is truly what this genre of RTS is all about. Also it has good mod support, so it extends the lifetime of this game, like Potato Salad extends your lifespan, or like Cold Beer extends your evening with friends. Overall, if you played, let's say, Total Annihilation, the Supreme Commander will feel familiar. It has the same vibes. Both Commander games are old, so they will probably run on the worst potato you have. Yeah, not even a potato PC, just a simple potato should be able to run first Supreme Commander. Just don't make a lot of units.
This is terrible advice.
Oh, shut up. Anyway, it's a real treat for people who can't afford a high-end computer, but still want to play the best games, and Supreme Commander is all that. Endzone, a world apart. A group of terrorists blew up nuclear power plants around the globe and plunged the world into chaos. Only a few were able to escape into underground facilities called the End Zones. Well, in the real world, if that happened, it would suck, but it wouldn't be a civilization-ending event. Anyway, this is a game. 150 years later, mankind returns to the surface and, surprise, surprise, under your command. So, poor humanity is doomed. I'm sorry, no offense. Okay, a little offense. Here, in an extremely hostile environment, full of radioactivity, contaminated rain and vicious climate change, you will have to prove your worth as a leader.
Good luck with that.
So you will have to build a settlement, gather and refine resources, send expeditions to forgotten places, and much more. People on Steam are talking that the game is really fun if you like city builders, but it has complex UI system and the lore part is really weak. Also, the game is really hard. Anyway, 77% of players who try the Endzone are recommending this game for you. Anno 1800s. Here you will take charge of your own future as you navigate the rapidly evolving technological landscape and malicious political arena of the 19th century. In other words, here you will have to build an empire that will reach from the stinky cities of Europe to the untouched jungles of South America. Game is rich with technological innovations and conspiracies, so it will provide you an opportunity to prove your skills as a ruler. Or, you know, to disappoint everyone more likely. You will create huge cities, plan efficient logistic networks, settle on an exhaustive exotic new continents, send out expeditions around the globe and dominate your opponents by diplomacy, trade, warfare, and your pure awesomeness. The bad thing about this game is that it is armed with DRM and requires a Ubisoft account. Sometimes I think that they do everything to repel you from buying their games. Those features do nothing, you can find the game in every pirate website anyway, so why even bother? Anyway, about 80% of reviews are positive, so if town builders are your spoon of potato salad, it may be an interesting choice for you. Narita Boy. This is a retro-futuristic game where you are Narita Boy, a legendary digital hero in an epic quest of simultaneous dimensions. The digital kingdom is under attack and you are the last hope of survival, so you will have to explore a vast world to find a Techno Sword, the only effective weapon against the enemy. That sounds nuts and also really cool. People on Steam are saying that Narita Boy has great music and huge variety of monsters and vehicles. You can even ride a floppy disk. How cool is that?
Not as cool as riding your sister.
Oh, come on, don't say that. Although the least favorite part for almost everyone is platforming. Most of the players agree that dying by just jumping is way more common than dying from some monster, and that irritates a lot of people. Also, the story sounds cooler than it actually is. But in general, the game is a proud owner of a very positive review score, and that is always a good sign. The Pathless. This is a perfect game for fans of Journey and Abzu, although with a tiny bit of more action implemented. Here you will become the Hunter, a master archer who travels to a mystical island to dispel a curse of darkness that grips the world. Soar through the air and forge a connection with your eagle companion. Perform fluid acrobatics and execute awesome trick shots with a unique archery system that allows effortless shooting while moving at high speeds. The evil won't rest until the world is destroyed, so what are you waiting for? And now I know that you are concerned about the most important thing. Can you pet the bird? And yes, you can, so it's automatically a good game. Also, it has very positive review score on Steam. Across the Obelisk. A turn-based dungeon crawler roguelike RPG and a member of the deck building family. You can play it alone or in 4-player co-op mode and prove that your party is led by a tactical genius. And it's you are a very smart and beautiful person. Now, subscribe, this praise isn't free. Anyway, the game is an owner of very positive reviews on Steam. 92% of players are happy with the purchase, so if a deck building aspect doesn't scare you, it's a no-brainer. Especially if you have a friend with whom or from whom you can conquer these lands. You'll find more than 500 different cards and a procedural generated system that makes this game highly replayable. People on Steam are saying that this is a very fun game, although it might get boring after a while, so better snatch it on a sale. Thymesia. This is a dark fantasy action RPG with fast-paced combat and an interesting plague weapon system. In a kingdom where death spreads, play as a mysterious character known by the codename Corvus. That is weird. I think I remember that the main protagonist of Dishonored 2 was named Corvo. Did they run out of names or something? Well, that is not the same name, but if one extremely famous game names its protagonist, let's say Fito, and you name yours Fetus, it's at least weird. It's not that hard to make up new names, I promise. So anyways, you know, as always, Corvus is the kingdom's final hope. Blah blah, the fate of the land is resting in your hands, and so on. So it's fair to say that the kingdom is doomed, because this is a Souls-like game. You know, also it's a short game. It is possible to beat it in 6 hours, but hey, let's be fair and square and triangle. It ain't gonna happen unless you are god of gamepad. So buy it only if you like Dark Souls and Sekiro, for example. It's very similar to those titles. Also, if you like tea with thymes, then you are strong and this game needs you. War for the Overworld. This is a spiritual successor of Dungeon Keeper. Some even call it Dungeon Keeper 3. Well, it's not. It is similar, but also different in its own way. You know, like King's Bounty is not the same as Heroes of Might and Magic, so it is a similar situation. Here you'll find replayability across many game modes that will keep you entertained for 40 hours, or even more if you are, you know, a bit slow. As I always say, you see, being smart is not always good. You get more playtime if your IQ is lower. That's why I still play The Witness. Few years now, money well spent. Anyway, here you will have to take care of various demons, devils, evil wizards, gnomes and other creepy villains, although none of them are as creepy as your ex-mother-in-law, so you'll be just fine. Here you are a dungeon master or dungeon mistress who tries to build a cozy environment for those creatures so they would live in your dungeon and not somewhere else. Also in this game you can punish your minions if you like. There can be many reasons. Let's say you can punish them for being not supportive, grumpy, or just because you can. There is a device called the Meat Grinder. Use it wisely. Tavern Master. This is a medieval tavern management game where you are in charge of building, maintaining and running your very own cozy tavern. Buy tables and benches, fill barrels with drinks, hire staff and serve your first customers. You will have to make sure your employees are happy, there are enough drinks and seats for guests, and soon you will be able to expand your business in various ways. For example, you can hire musicians to attract more people to your tavern and make customers have more patience while waiting for a drink. Honestly, I never thought about that. Basically, if you want to get your drinks faster, avoid live music. Anyway, here you can also hold special events to attract special customers who have very specific food and drink requirements. They will come in the morning and stay all day, and they could stay all night as well if you create rooms with beds in your tavern. Every room will be rated with stars from 1 to 5, which will determine how much money you can earn from the guests. So my advice is to keep them cockroaches free and with complimentary potato salad snacks. Age of Wonders Planetfall. Emerge from the cosmic dark age of a fallen galactic empire to build a new future for your people, or, ruin everything even more. Here you will build your kingdom with one of 6 unique factions, ranging from militant vanguard to the dinosaur-riding Amazons, cyborg zombies, and unicorn raccoon kittens of despair. Well, maybe not the latter, but I assure you that the diversity of units is really nice. Here you'll progress through each faction's missions using your wits, military strength, and diplomacy. Explore planetary ruins and encounter other survivors as you unravel the history of a shattered civilization. Game has a really nice single-player campaign and a random skirmish maps. You can play the game alone or dive into multiplayer battles and feel the shame of defeat. Gorogoa. An overwhelmingly 97% positive review score is not something we can easily ignore. Gorogoa is an elegant evolution of the puzzle genre told through a beautiful hand-drawn story. The gameplay is wholly original, consisting of lavishly illustrated panels which you arrange and combine in various ways to solve artsy puzzles. Impeccably simple yet satisfyingly complex. People on Steam are talking that this may be the best puzzle game ever created. Well, I have to agree, it is definitely one of the best. Very imaginative and made entirely of art. The Unfinished Swan. Here you'll explore a mysterious all-white landscape by splatting paint to reveal the world around you. You'll follow a swan that stepped out of an unfinished painting and wandered off into a surreal storybook-inspired kingdom. Each chapter brings surprises and new ways to explore the world, which is a host of bizarre and sometimes dangerous creatures. You will also encounter the eccentric king who built this empire. This is simply one of the best puzzle games ever created. If you are looking for a nice game with a good story and relaxing gameplay, this title is a must-try, no doubt. Journey. This is a very different game if you compare it to anything else in the gaming world. Here you will have to traverse the desert, learn the fate of ancients and dive into dangerous ruins. Or not dangerous, just beautiful. You can't fight here. Running away is also not an option. If you encounter an enemy, the only way for you to survive is to hide. But don't worry, this is not some hide-and-seek game. Enemies are very rare. The thing you will do mostly here is traveling. You will be on a journey. It's a relaxing game. You don't need almost any skills to finish it. It's just a beautiful adventure with amazing visuals, and you have all my recommendations. Imagine, my mother is 65 years old and she finished the game on her PlayStation 4 without any help from a side. This game suits everyone. Shadowrun returns. Magic has returned to the world, awakening powerful creatures of myth and legend. Technology here merges with flesh and consciousness. Elves, trolls, orcs and dwarves walk among us, while ruthless corporations bleed the world dry. Here you are a Shadowrunner, a mercenary living on the fringes of society in the shadows of massive corporate arcologies, surviving day by day on skill and instinct alone. When the powerful or the desperate need a job done, you get it done, by any means necessary. Or, fail miserably and try again. People on Steam are saying that this is a solid strategy RPG that scratches the itch for games like Baldur's Gate or Divinity Original Sin. Also great for Fallout and Wasteland fans. Shadowrun Returns has around 90% of positive reviews, so if you like games like that, it's a real no-brainer for this price. What Remains of Edith Finch. Overwhelmingly positive review score should grab your attention. 17-year-old Edith Finch is the last surviving member of the eccentric Finch family. All of her closest relatives and family have died violently at a young age, leading to rumors about a family curse. Now she's on her way to her Finch mansion, a bizarre ramshackle building hidden deep within the forest of the state of Washington. Once there, she intends to research her family's history and learn the truth behind the alleged curse. While this can sound like a horror game, it's actually simply just a tale about one family that is more interesting than your family, or mine. People are saying that this is more than just a game, it is a unique form of art. Prison Architect. Welcome to the prison, and not a prison of your mind you are living in right now, but a real one. Well, real is a relative term here. The game works somehow similar like any dungeon manager game. Well, more like literally the same, except your inmates do not have as much of free will here, if you know what I mean. Anyway, here you will build an amazing maximum security prison where you can be a sadistic tyrant and torture your inmates. Or, I don't know, Norwegian prison where inmates live better than people in freedom in most of the countries. I just saw on TV one documentary and their prisoners had better TVs and furniture than I do at my home. So, you know, you can help me out by supporting me on Patreon or joining here on YouTube. By the way, did you know that Prison Architect has a 3D mode as well? This is not a mod or something, you can turn it on or off anytime you want. Just don't drop the soap. Crusader Kings 3. Let me start from the fact that you can play it for free this whole weekend, and a lot of people think that this is the best grand strategy game ever made, and it's really hard to argue with this. Here you will choose your noble house and lead your dynasty to greatness in a Middle Ages epic that spans generations. War is but one of many tools to establish your reign, as real strategy requires expert diplomatic skill, mastery of your realm, and true cunning. Begin in medieval times and claim titles, lands and minions to secure a realm worthy of your royal blood. And if you die, that's okay. Your lineage continues with new playable heirs, either planned or not. Depends on your combined skill of bad diplomacy and casual diplomacy while you were alive. But be warned, the game is extremely complicated and it will take you many days to master. Although it has almost endless replayability, it may be the game you play for years and years. Also keep in mind that the prequel of the game, Crusader Kings 2, is completely free on Steam and you can try it anytime you want. Expeditions Viking. Game description says, a small band of Norse warriors lands on the shores of England. History may have forgotten their names, but their actions live on. Well, as I always say, the actions Vikings made in real-life England involved a lot of pillaging and other crimes, like, you know, killing. So romantic and songs-worthy. Anyway, here's the newly appointed chieftain of a modest Viking clan. You'll have a village of your very own. But to carve your name into the runestones of history, you'll need great strength and great wealth to grow your village's prosperity. There is little left to be gained from the Norse lands, and so you must set your sights on the seas to the west, where tales speak of a great island filled with treasure and slaves ready for the taking. Game has a very positive review score on Steam, but there are also quite a few comments saying that the game is a bit too slow. You know, just like your sister. Thank you for watching, have a nice day.
And I'll see you next time. Bye.